Have you been diagnosed with gout? Are you experiencing any of the following ailments? Excruciating pain in joint areas of the extremities, including arms and legs. Is the pain so severe that you're afraid to move or even to get off the couch or the bed on some days? Are high-priced medical professionals telling you that the only way to solve this painful issue is with expensive prescription medications given by their pals at the big pharmacy nearby? If you identify with any of these concerns, then I urge you to listen to this short but highly revealing presentation. I must warn you, however, that what you will be hearing next will shock you. Because the truth is, gout can be taken care of more safely and much more inexpensively than the so-called healthcare advisors let on. There's just one caveat. The solution to getting rid of gout is so quick and low cost that there's just not that much profit for others to grab. Hi, my name is Lewis Parker, and just 3 years ago I was crying my eyes out like a little girl, and I just couldn't stop. Why, you ask? Because the tip of my bedsheet pulled on my big toe as I was preparing for bed. For a normal person, this trivial amount of pressure would be so light they wouldn't even notice it as they drifted off to sleep. But I was brought to tears. "It hurts so bad!" I yelled out in agony. "What's the matter, dear?" my wife Brenda said, fearful that I was having a heart problem. Then our little girl Susie ran into the room and handed me her toy bear. "Teddy's here for you, Daddy. It'll go away soon." I smiled, holding back my embarrassment. I have a loving family, something I'm very grateful for. But the unwanted spotlight brought on by the excruciating pain of an inflamed toe was almost worse than the pain itself. I've been holding off going to the doctor. But after the incident with the bedsheet, I could wait no longer. I visited first thing in the morning, shockwaves of pain striking me with every step I made towards the doctor's office. After a 45-minute wait, the doctor came in with a hurried tone. He said that there was a build-up of uric acid crystals in between the joints of my big toes. He said he was surprised I'd gone on as long as I had without visiting, given my symptoms. I smiled sheepishly, not knowing what to say. I guess I felt a bit neglectful. Sometimes I wonder if doctors know how self-conscious they can make you feel with these offhand remarks. 5 minutes passed, and we were already at the end of the visit. Without taking another look in my direction, the doctor hurriedly scribbled a steroidal medication prescription and instructed me to take 2 pills a day. The cost was $250 a month. I prayed this prescription wouldn't last long. "It's certainly not an overnight fix," he said, reading my mind. I contemplated the cost and figured my little girl's ski trip with her friends would probably have to be put off this year. Now, I am most definitely not a selfish dad, but I really didn't know if I could survive another bedsheet episode again. Unfortunately, the pharmacists seemed to know that too, from the prices they charged. After buying my first bottle and heading home, I sat down and stared at the clock for a good 10 minutes. Were the meds working? Was the swelling going down? Slowly but surely, things did begin to change, but just not in the way I'd hoped for. My heart rate sped up, first catching up to the tick-tock of the clock, and then near doubling its rate after about 5 minutes. Did I just trade gout for a heart problem? I wondered to myself. I couldn't watch the clock any longer. I felt myself getting unusually frustrated as I stormed downstairs to check on my little girl. Then it happened. "Susie," I yelled, "for Christ's sake, turn that stupid cartoon off and do your homework right now, young lady." She started to cry as she ran to her room. She was confused. So was I. My wife, catching my outburst, pulled me to the side and told me that the medications were getting to my head and maybe I should go outside. To be honest, I think she might have been a bit scared. Heading outside, the next conversation I would have would completely change my life and unlock the secret to all natural gout removal, all from an unusual accomplice from my high school past. "Lewis, is that you?" a female voice remarked. "Hi, Cassie. How have you been?" She was one of my neighbours from down the street. We were close friends in high school, but as neighbours, we might have spoken once or twice a year at most. I'm a married man, mind you, and you can be sure that my conversation with Cassie was entirely platonic in nature. But as a male, I'll also say Cassie was quite attractive for her age, quite thin and fit, despite being in her late 30s like I was. We had the typical neighbourly small talk, and then the conversation found its way to my struggles with gout. I told her about the medications and how they caused an outburst with my young daughter. Now there's something you need to know about Cassie. She practiced as a health consultant and had built up a rep in our neighbourhood as a miracle healer. You're probably smirking at the term miracle healer, and that's always how I had felt about it too, and I'll tell you more. Despite being a straight-A student in high school, Cassie had not attended university after that, and all we knew was that she had instead moved to Japan for 8 years, and then came back with weird ideas. So yes, I had never really took her seriously before that day, and I would have never thought of going to someone who was not a doctor, let alone someone without a university degree, for health advice. But on that day, a lot of things changed. Our conversation got very personal. She said that both her parents had died young, her mother from diabetes complications and her father from a sudden heart attack. That had affected her greatly, particularly the fact that despite going to top doctors, no one was able to save her parents, and that had caused her to reject all conventional knowledge and seek answers in an unlikely place. Remember I said we knew she had moved to Japan? Technically, it was Okinawa, an island off the coast of Japan. If it sounds familiar, that is because Okinawa has recently been in the news as the place with the longest life expectancy in the world. In fact, BBC has recently reported that there are 4 times as many centenarians in Okinawa as there are in America and Britain. And Bradley Wilcox, a scientist researching this extraordinary phenomenon, has recently said about the island's inhabitants that the calendar may say they're 70, but their body says they're 50. The most impressive part of it is that a good lot of them are healthy until the very end. Now, Cassie had gone to Okinawa before Western media caught on that something was special about the health of its inhabitants. She said that in Asia, Okinawa is well known to be the go-to place for answers when it comes to extraordinary health, and in fact, the Chinese have referred to Okinawa as the land of immortals for centuries. By this point, Cassie had my full attention. And then she dropped the bomb. You know, in Okinawa, gout is deemed to be a very easily treatable ailment. I myself have helped many people free themselves of gout. You can get rid of it in just a few days, actually. She continued to explain that gout was just the result of a waste product in our bodies, and our bodies are more than capable of getting rid of that given the right tools and stimuli. I replied, "But the doctor said..." Her gentle smile stopped me mid-sentence. "Will you hear me out for 15 minutes?" she asked. Those next 15 minutes would completely change my life and the way I think about health. Her advice was incredibly simple and consisted of just 3 main things. 1. To stop doing something that doctors and all so-called health professionals were asking me to do for my gout. 2. To consume one weird item daily in a specific quantity. And 3. To do a couple of arguably strange but simple movements for a few minutes in each day. And that was it. She promised me this crazy but weird approach would rid me of my gout in 7 days or less. I thanked her and rushed back home, half excited and half dazed by the knowledge she had just dropped on me. By that night, the pain had lessened from grade suicidal to mere throbbing, which was a huge improvement for me. Next morning, I could walk normally and the swelling had visibly gone down. And a whole 7 days later, to my amazement, not only was my gout completely gone, but I was also feeling strangely rejuvenated and more energetic than I'd felt in a long time. My wife and daughter were super proud of me. I'd solved my issue not with quick fix drugs, but by providing my body with the right conditions to get rid of a waste product, just like Cassie had said. I have to tell you that this experience was completely life-changing for me. The freedom from pain was totally liberating. I was suddenly free again to go wherever I pleased and spend time with friends and family. The embarrassment of being weak and fragile in front of my family was replaced by a new form of strength and confidence in my health, something I found others complimenting me about as well. My wife Brenda told me, with romantic eyes, that she hadn't seen me this happy and energetic in over a decade. My young girl also knows that Dad is able to take charge of his health. It is a duty of a good father to provide a good example to his children on how to protect their own health, and one I'm happy to finally make good on. Forget synthetic drugs and Western therapies. Cassie showed me a better path to address the pains and slowly let them wither away on their own like a dying weed. Hopefully by now you know that there is a better path to solving your own gout issues. Even as my own story unfolded, I have to tell you that I was half in disbelief as my pains left my body. Forget paying ridiculous fees for overpriced, side effect producing medications ever again. Instead, we'll simply give your body exactly what it needs to restart removing excess uric acid, as it had been doing all along before gout kicked in. After my incredible experience, I asked Cassie if she'd be happy for me to write all her secrets down to pass them on to others, and she was more than happy to help. Our hope is that these teachings will eventually help millions of Americans to put a stop to our endless drug culture and address the underlying issues for gout right at home. In my step-by-step guide, The Gout Code, your guide to removing the pain in 7 days or less, guaranteed, you'll discover a precise approach to experience long-lasting gout relief and freedom. Here's what you can expect to find in the Gout Code system. The true nature of gout. You'll learn why it's so common and what these pains are trying to communicate to your body. A drug-free home solution that relieves all pain naturally. Add the right remedy into your daily diet along with some other specific items and you will find a sense of calm and tranquility that goes beyond your gout-related issues. Cassie's secrets that dial back the clock on your body's ills. An Okinawan secret system to rid your joints, muscles, tendons and nerves of tense energies that builds up every time you experience a throbbing jolt of pain from your gout. Unlike conventional therapies that simply mask the symptoms, we seek to actually heal and rebalance the body. More importantly, the Gout Code is 1. Incredibly effective. Get rid of your gout in 7 days or less, guaranteed. 2. Easy and simple. Anyone can follow the instructions laid out in our foolproof guide. 3. 100% natural. It is 100% safe and natural without any drugs or medications. And yes, this guide is an instant digital download, meaning you can start your gout-free journey right now, even if it's 3 a.m. in the morning. Here's just 3 of the many customer testimonials I receive daily in my inbox. Carl Johnson from London sent me a quick email just a few weeks after buying my guide. He writes in, "Just 3 weeks of following the Gout Code, and my uric acid levels are down from 9.8 milligrams per deciliter to 5.9 milligrams per deciliter. My doctor was astonished when he saw my results and said he never saw such a drop in such a short amount of time, even with medications. He said he'll look you up as I gave him your details." Juan from Mexico City was dealing with horrible pains. In his own words, "Your guide is what brought 4 weeks of excruciating pain to an end. Thank you for such a resourceful manual and for giving me my life back." Richard Hard from California just wasn't getting results from his medications when he turned to the Gout Code. He writes in, "After being on allopurinol for over 2 years and on Celebrex on and off in an attempt to control gout, I decided I didn't want to be pumping drugs into my body for the rest of my life, and hence started my search for a better option. I came across multiple sources who were saying that your guide helped them defeat gout naturally and that they were able to stop all their meds thanks to you. And 3 months ago, I made the decision to get the Gout Code. I am now emailing to tell you that I have been gout-free for these past 3 months and completely drug-free for 1 month, as the doc had found my uric acid to be just 4.3 milligrams per deciliter, and he said I no longer needed the allopurinol and Celebrex. I'll go again next month to confirm that my urate is still low, but I'm confident that it will be, as I have no pain or no symptoms whatsoever. Thank you, Lewis." The Gout Code is the only guide to show you exactly how to eradicate your gout naturally and permanently. You may be asking how much such a life-changing system is going to cost you. First, let me ask you, how much are you willing to pay to get rid of your gout and constant pain forever? Now, keep in mind that just a visit to your specialist costs $150 to $200 plus. If you opt for follow-up therapies, these will easily cost you hundreds of dollars over a course of treatment. Well, the great news is that the Gout Code system will cost you nowhere near that. The initial price of this life-changing system is $69.99. But instead, and only as long as we have this video promotion on our website, I want you to get this guide for only $37. That's barely the price of a pizza for 2. If you order today, you will also receive the following 6 bonuses, value $172, absolutely free. Bonus 1. Lessons from Miracle Doctors, value $37. Bonus 2. Sleeping Solace, value $27. Bonus 3. 10 Ways to Fight Off Cancer, value $17. Bonus 4. Stress Soothers. Value $27. Bonus 5. How to lose 10 pounds naturally. Value $27. Bonus 6. Free lifetime updates. Value $37. I am 100% sure that you are not buying an ebook, you are buying results. I want you to be 100% confident about purchasing the Gout Code, so I offer you a 60-day unconditional risk-free guarantee. That's right. If you aren't satisfied with your purchase for any reason, simply contact us and we will refund your payment to the last cent, no questions asked. That way, the only thing you have to lose when you choose the Gout Code system is only your gout. Guaranteed. Come on, grab it today.